Hey, welcome to my video on how you can use a gated course PowerUp to ensure your students are completing foundational courses before going on to the next course. In this video, I want to talk about the latest PowerUp from Thinkific expert Rob Galvin and how this can be used as an accountability and a great way to support your students to ensure that they don't get too far ahead and start binging all the courses in a series before completing their first one. So what I love about the gated courses PowerUp is that it really is easy to set up. Of all the PowerUps, I think it is the most easiest, and I have demoed most of them. And so I really think it makes it easy to set up the condition for, they call it blocking and unblocking, but I like to use the term unlock and lock because it's just easier to think about a lock versus like a key that locks and a key that unlocks, and what the criteria is for when you turn the key clockwise or when you turn the key counterclockwise. So before I get into the demo, I want to explain that these PowerUps are all designed to enhance your Thinkific course experience, Thinkific learner experience, and how your customers are navigating with your Thinkific site. These are all enhancements that can really amplify and up-level your business and really support your customers and create an experience that is very personalized and very tailored to what your users are looking for. So I'm going to quickly show you the website, superpowerups.com. I'll put a link in the description below. Each PowerUp is $99, but if you buy the entire pass for 1 year, it is $749. And if you want a lifetime access, it is 2 payments at $700. The cool thing about these PowerUps is they come out very frequently. There's always new developments and updates, and it's really fun to explore all the different ways that you can personalize your site experience, personalize your business to your customers, and use the add-ons to enhance how you market, how you sell, but also how you support your learners. One of the other exciting PowerUps that I haven't had a chance to show you, but I really am looking forward to, is called this Player Snips. The cool thing about Player Snips is it works really well with Typeform to not only further take this idea of foundational learning into account, but to ensure that your students complete a certain criteria before they're even able to move on to the next lesson. And so there's lots of exciting developments, and so this is definitely a plug for the Super PowerUps to go check it out if you're at a stage in your business where you think this would really make a difference, not only for you as a business owner, but also for your customers and learners. So let's get started. The cool thing about this is it works directly on your student dashboard page. So I am logged into my Thinkific site. I'm going to look for, under my Design Your Site, to look for site pages. And under site pages, I'm going to look for the student dashboard page. This is important because this PowerUp works directly with your student experience so that when your students are logged in, they will not be able to see certain courses based on the criteria that we've set up. So I'm going to search student. I didn't spell that right. So it pulls up my student dashboard page. I'm going to click on edit, and then I'll show you what it looks like when you're setting this up in the back end. And then once we're done setting up the criteria and explaining the criteria, I will show you what it looks like on the front end as a student based on this criteria of unlock and lock. And so the cool thing is it really is very easy to set up once you understand, once you grasp the idea of how a key locks and unlocks, which direction and what the criteria is for when a key goes into a lock and how it turns, then all of this sort of comes together very seamlessly. So I've already tried to make it a little bit easier, save some time, and look at, I've already added the course block because that's the first step that we need to do. And I'm going to, in this video, keep it very simple. We can get really complex, and I welcome any ideas for future videos where we can work through and workshop some other ideas for the course lock and unlock. And so if I wanted to add more specific criteria, let's just say I'm going to set this up for a course series, but later on I can apply this to a membership. So what happens is I notice a lot of creators sell memberships because it's a great way to have recurring revenue, to offer bonuses for people who want to be part of a monthly membership. And it really makes a difference when you can not only sell the membership, but also sell a learning experience inside a membership. So oftentimes in a membership, you might offer a buffet of courses, but the problem is people tend to binge everything and not really focus on binging one or completing one before they binge the rest. And so you can apply this in a membership by ensuring that students complete a series of courses, basic courses in your membership before you unlock the other content in the vault. Now, that's not for everyone, but if that's something that you're interested in, I can demo in a later video. Just leave a comment and feel free also to reach out. There's an email in the description, and you're always welcome to email me as well. My goal here is to support you all, so please, if you have any thoughts or questions or feedback, I'm happy to support and help. So in this course block, you will see the criteria for the what I call lock and unlock. It says unblock, but as I said, I like to use the term lock and unlock because it's easier to think about it as a lock and unlock. And so in this first, they're going to ask you what type of lock do you want. Do you want to block your students from enrolling in the other courses? Do you want to also block them from resuming and viewing the courses? So you might want to think about, like, how important is it to me as a creator and instructor? Do I want students to be able to enroll in other courses all at once, or do I want to just make sure that they don't get to view the course, but they're already enrolled? And then here's where it gets really kind of tricky, and this is really important to pay attention to because I've messed this up a few times, so I just want to admit that. So it's going to ask you, what would you like blocked, or you could say locked? Do you want it as a course or bundle? And then they will then ask you which course or bundle do you want locked. And you can also set the criteria for, like, let's just say I'm teaching a series of how to launch your online course in 6 weeks, and I want to offer a series of courses, but I want to make sure that students complete the first series versus binge all 3 and then never really complete the first one. And so this is important, where I can say, you know, what course, I want all the courses in the series to be blocked except for the first one. So let's just say the first one in my series is called Launch Your Online Course. Launch. Do I have a launch? I do have a launch. Yes. So I want to make sure that in this criteria, only this course is viewable to my students, because I want to make sure this material gets completed first. So one of the things that's important to remember, that I wanted to cover this, is that in this option, what should be blocked, you can block the course or the bundle, or you can block everything but this specific course or bundle. So if it's the specific course, we can start with the first course in the series, but if we wanted to do, like, let's just say a membership, and we have like basics of money mindset 1, 2, and 3, we can say, well, I want to block everything except for money mindset basics level 1. And so then when you're in a membership, you're selling a membership, then all the content in the vault of level 2 and level 3 will be blocked. And so this is what's really cool and powerful. And so let me just click save. So now I'm going to say everything but this first course. So I'm creating a series of courses on how to launch your online course in 6 weeks. So I offer a series, level 1, level 2, level 3. Let's say the first one is launch your online course. Level 2 is how to automate your setup. Level 3 is more advanced techniques and strategies. So everything but level 1, which is this first course, will be blocked, so that this will be the only courses students can enroll and view before they can view other material. Then the pop-up settings, there will be like a stop sign box. They call it a pop-up, I call it like a stop sign. And so this will just let and notify the student, hey, you know, just a word of note, you will not be able to continue until you've met the criteria by completing the conditions of the first course. And so the cool thing is this pop-up can be tailored and customized similar to the other super power-ups. These pop-ups, the messaging is really important. It really has to relate to your user and your customer. And then I made it something a little bit different, where I said, instead of just it says yes, I just said yes, I'll keep going. No, I'll come back later and resume the course later. So I made it a little bit different because I wanted to personalize it and show you how it makes a difference in the student experience. And then they give you an option here to exclude users. So let's just say you have staff and admin that help test your course and make sure everything has a quality assurance on a regular basis. Then you can exclude them so that they're not stuck waiting on you to unlock and lock the course. And then once you put in whoever doesn't need to be within this criteria of locking and unlocking, then you can go back to the lock condition settings, whereas you can decide all conditions have to be met or any condition has to be met. Now it's up to you. This can be kind of frustrating as a learner but you can see that the learner can see that as it's a beautiful thing for them. It holds them accountable, it prevents them from binge learning, and it ensures that they are not overwhelmed as well. So you can choose whether all conditions must be met or whether any condition must be met. So if you're flexible and you want to be more fluid, you can say any condition must be met. But if you're like, oh no, I have to because this is not just any kind of course and this is not any kind of material, I'm teaching very specifically like chemistry, science, technical concepts where I need to make sure my students are really completing all the material before I can even unlock level 2 and level 3 courses. So once that's done, you want to click on save. That is really important because if you don't save, it won't show up properly for the student. Now that you've decided what the criteria is for locking the courses and course content, you can now decide what criteria that the student can meet to unlock the course. So this is where you have to decide when to unblock this. Do you want to unlock this as a course when it's completed? And then if so, then what course do they have to complete for this criteria to be met? So I want to unblock the course and bundle when they completed the first course, which is launch your online course in 6 weeks. There it is. So now it's 2 parts. You see the first part is where they the first part you've set is where you lock the content. You stop them from viewing the rest of the series of courses until they've completed the first one, and then you customize the pop-up. And now the unlock is where you criteria is set so that the system knows once the student has completed some of the elements in the first course, they're allowed to continue on. But they have to complete the elements in this course before you'll allow them to continue on in the next course. Now, if I wanted to go even more complex, I can. And so this is just one criteria here. If I wanted to then say, well, I'm really concerned about student learning and student accountability, and I want to set additional criteria, I can click on Add Section and add another block. And now the blocks can get very complex and nuanced, so it's important to make sure that every time you add a new course block, you want to be able to distinguish the block so that when you're setting it up, it's easier. So you can distinguish them by saying course block 1, and maybe you can call this course block 2. Okay, so it says course block, but we can call this course block 2 so that when we're setting this up in our backend, it is a lot easier. I'll call it course block 2 so that I can distinguish between the first and second criteria. So maybe later on what I'd like to do is say like, okay, I have to ensure that students complete the first 2 courses before I even allow them to view the third course. Maybe that is the criteria, not just 1 course, but they have to meet the criteria for 2 courses. Then I can continue here again and specify the type of block. And I can say not just a course or bundle, but I could say I want to continue with, instead of the everything but the 1 course, I want to specify the next course so that the system knows that once the student completes the second course, then they'll unlock the third course. So that would be the way to do it if you wanted to make sure that students complete 2 courses before they go on to the third course. So you can say everything but in the first one, and then add another criteria to say then I want to search the automate, so that the automate is the next one that will get blocked before they even get to the advanced one. And then Once, I'm not going to change the pop-up settings because I showed you that earlier, but then I want to show you the unblock condition. So now we said we're going to lock the second course, which is the Automate Your Thinkific setup. Then I want to ask, so when do I want to unblock this? And I want to unblock this when they've completed the Automate Your course. And then I would click Save, and then your students would see that. Then now that I've kind of showed you how you can set up the 2 criteria, I'm going to delete this so that it doesn't affect the demo, so I can show you in the front end what it looks like for the first criteria. If you want to see another video on the second criteria where when I lock the second course before they're able to view the third course, let me know and I can definitely make another video. I just want to make sure this doesn't get too long. So now I'm going to go back and delete this block and then show you what it looks like as a front-end student. So now you can see I am logged into my student dashboard. So I'm enrolled in 6 courses. Now, what the cool thing is, like I said, what I said earlier is those courses in the Launch Your Online course, that will be, or the reverse engineering, that will be the first course in this series. And then the second course is the Automate Your Thinkific setup. And then the last one in the series is the advanced coaching. Now, as you can see, this is grayed out because those will be locked. And so that's how you know you've set up the unlock and lock criteria correctly. It's because this has been grayed out. So this is my first series. And if I wanted to start this course, it will say, Jean, there is more work and learning to do, and keep going. And so as you can see, I can say, yes, I'll keep going, or no, I'll come back later. X this out. And then the same thing shows up in the third course. So that's how you know this works. Like I said, it's taken me some time. So please, if you're doing this, remember that to have patience and grace for yourself, because it can be frustrating at first when you don't quite have it tweaked correctly. But now what I'm going to do is go into my course, and so now what I'm going to do, so now this is in a nutshell the gated courses power up. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, feedback, comment, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.